Welcome back to Game On once again, and now the legends join me, of course, in Askins as well as Kosana, and it's time to talk about Bafana Bafana. Gentlemen, good to be in your company. Let's look back over the last couple of matches. Fortunately for South Africa, both of them were home matches, although one was an away match in inverted commas, so to speak, and talk firstly of Hugo Broos. Going into these games, he spoke of the difficulties he's had in this camp ahead of the two matches, because of the injuries and the changes to the squad, more so to the back four. Mark, your thoughts about the new look back four and how they fared, although for Mobi, he didn't last too long before he had to be injured. Again, for Mdunyani to come in and replace him, another inexperienced player.
I must say, I don't know when last I've been this excited about a Bafana team.
Yeah.
I think, I remember watching the Legends back in the day when I was a kid.
Yes.
Going to stadium all the time, and I was so excited about Bafana. I don't remember when last I felt that way. I feel that way about this team. Mm-hmm. When you look at what Hugo Broos has done with this team, it doesn't matter who's not available. Yeah. When last could we say that about Bafana? We don't miss anyone. Like, literally, we have like-for-like replacements in just about every position. I think, obviously, we know what Ronwen Williams brings to the team. Mm-hmm. He's probably the one guy that you feel, we'd miss him if he wasn't there, because our play is centered around Ronwen Williams and how good he is with his feet. But I love this Bafana team. And so we saw coming into the camp, the two players that were replaced, Ime Ocon, and it was at Pirates, Maswangani. I don't know what. The two players that replaced them started.
Yeah, which is a big shock.
Where do you find that? Where you get two replacement players, but they're both in the starting lineup. And that speaks to the depth of Bafana Bafana, and that's what I love. And so I'm really excited about where we are right now and what's happening in this Bafana team.
That back four, of course, Mdunyani coming in off the bench immediately, and Mulisani, another, that picked up an injury, and Undamani coming on in his place. How did it look to you, Bracheri, in the way South Africa controlled the game and went on to score goals and build from there again? Nkota with the breakthrough, an inexperienced player who's looking to find his way in the international stage. But it seems like Mark is saying they're all fitting in well. How did you see that Lesotho game?
One thing that I like about Mark now, the comparison that he's just saying now between the first Bafana, because even myself, before I got in there was this, what they call the understanding of players that wants to play together. Yes, the age was not on their side, most of them, but because they knew each other. This is what is happening. But now, look at the youth that is in this team. Look at the way they want to play for each other. You look at Zuko Mdunyani. Somebody that doesn't have that big name to somebody that we knew before. And I was also surprised when I saw again Kapini that came on for, I think, Mudiba later on, if I'm not mistaken, in the against Nigeria. So you look at that depth. Wow, for me, yes, they talk about Mbogazi, but me, I will single out Mbule. What a player that he was against Nigeria.
But let's start with Lesotho. Right there, we're on Lesotho now.
But for me, I just want to wrap everything up.
Don't worry, we got time.
But no, I'm even there, but I'm with you, Brajeri.
It's serious. Let's wrap everything up.
No. Guys, listen, I say that to say this, because the Lesotho wins, keep in mind, the same venue. Both games.
Yeah.
The Lesotho win set up the Nigeria game. So the thinking is, how important is that win against a tough Nigeria side, and for the inexperienced players to get the confidence going into the Nigeria game? You get where I'm coming from?
That's exactly what I'm trying to say, because we're mixing.
So the Lesotho win
that happened with Lesotho.
Start with Lesotho
but
and
there was a change of a squad that faced Nigeria. Imagine if you are on the outside. You sit out on the outside, I'm doing well as a striker, and then when you get a chance, before you could even play, when your moral wasn't that much like mine, then I get to sit, you get to start, and then you still keep
the level.
That's exactly what I'm saying in terms of these youngsters. Look at what Nigeria did. I'm sorry, because yes, we talk about Lesotho, but look at what Nigeria did when they changed their back four. They changed the back four. The captain had to come in when it didn't play, when they played Rwanda.
Yeah, it didn't play before.
The goal scorer, which is Passé, the 21, he was playing left back, looking after Nkota. But later on, they had to change because they saw what happened. The goal that we scored came from that area because of Nkota's pace. But I cannot take that away to say the overall of this generation now with Hugo Broos, Marvelous.
I have to ask both of you this question. With regards to the Nigerian game, the big issue here, which Hugo Broos mentioned before the game as well, was size, strength.
Yes.
And it mattered in this game.
Indeed.
It was physical, the way they scored their goal and the way they were hanging those balls up there. How did we adjust in playing to our strengths and also in dealing with the size and strength of the Nigerians? Mark?
Again, I think we did exceptionally well. If you look at the balance of play, especially in that first half, because in the second half, both teams, we just nullified one another. You can't say that either goalkeeper made great saves or anything. The second half, both teams cancelled one another. But the first half, South Africa controlled the game. It's literally in that crucial phase, the last 5 minutes of the game, one lapse of concentration, and I feel that goal was avoidable.
Yeah.
You can't have a Basi jumping over one of our bigger defenders, literally jumping over him to get to the end of the ball.
Reminded me of Vince Carter at the Olympics when he jumped over to dunk on the one player. Yeah.
That showed the desire of Basi there. So it was one lapse of concentration, but for 40 minutes plus, we controlled. Nigeria were no threat at all, because what I loved about what Coach Hugo Broos did, and you can see that the technical team, the plan was, Nigeria are quick. They want to use their pace behind. We just dropped off, low block. There was no pace to exploit. Now they must try and play and break us down. Nigeria can't do that.
Which is not their strength of
They
playing the
can't
ball
do
around
that.
like the way we're playing. I mean, I'm just echoing what Mark is saying. I mean, the beauty that we are supposed to do was like to play around with our being fluent, you know, the movement, because that's how we got them. But we should have got the goals. I think before they get the equalizer, we should have got another 2 or 3 because we were all over them, honestly speaking. I
We
think
controlled the
maybe
game.
everything wasn't on our side. They even scored a goal for us. But I think it's something which we need to build on and just take it forward because it was positive.
Well, as things stand, South Africa still lead Group C with 3 points ahead of Benin. Nigeria, they're in third spot on 11 points. So South Africa on 17, Benin on 14. Up next, in the next international window, is trips, a home game against Zimbabwe, I believe it may very well be, and a game against Rwanda that could very well see South Africa qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So we take a short break, we come back. On the other side, we talk about what's happening locally and things to look forward to.